Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to my secondary channel, the number one grinder, real talk. Yeah, this is the underrated men's talk. Men's only joined the panel. And Brother Pastor, I definitely gonna hit you after when I play this intro. It's gonna be a short intro. Then after that, we're gonna get this in. Men, again, only on the panel. Mature men on this panel could join. No nonsense, no nothing. Let me read this out. Just remember us as righteous ones. We are still winners. That's the real. Remember that. We are still winners. Let me get this out the way. Um, Let me say this before I play the intro. There's a lot of things that's happened in this world against men. And whatever men that's heterosexual that talk against it, that will understand within God's principles, morals, culture, name, right? It's always a pushback. Even when a man knows there's injustices is happening all around. We understand outside the space, but inside the space, you still got fruity men trying to tell straight men how to live. These are the same ones that are against families, that are against the men and women being together and raise kids. These are the same ones are against still women molest little boys that cause harm to men, some toxic women. These are the same ones that are predators. These are the same ones got the nerve to talk about God, that you should have nothing to say. Also, we're going to talk about the NFL draft and stuff like that. So we're going to talk men's talk today. This got to stop. That's why on the Underrated Doctors channel that I will get back soon. But even in this secondary chat, I handpick people, especially for men's talk. Other talks too of ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I do that. But for men's talk, I handpick it. Because there's a lot of sweet bananas is in this space, young and old. But see, they don't want to. But see, they don't want to support platforms like this that us as men have built. See, I did this for men. It ain't all about me. I did it for men. Just as I created another platform sometime almost. I mean, last year, men's fellowship in the morning. I don't have to do it, but I do it because us as men, heterosexual men, still do not have a voice. They trying to making us as extinct, young and old. That means we gotta fight. And these men, now I'm calling fruity because I'm being nice today, got the nerve that when you stick up for yourself, they say you wrong. You need to take the woman's side. I'm talking about the ones that is toxic. You don't have no right to say that. How do I know that a woman did molest you? What about the little girls? I'm not talking about little girls. Stick to the subject. See, a lot of them do not want to stick to the subject. But on the Underrated Doctors channel and even on this channel here, we stick to the subject. If you're not, you get booted out. So today, on behalf of my late parents, that God had made them, that I came through, and the ones that looks like me, looks like us. Now, even I'm talking about humanity. Let me say, throughout humanity, we gonna stick to the subject. And if you don't like it, you can leave. Because none of us, the ones who practice righteous, and I'm talking about men today that are heterosexual, that is fighting, we not losing no sleep. So I'm going to hit you with this intro, and I'm going to bring Brother Pastor in, and I'm going to bring Brother Rayology in, and we're going to get down to business. So men out there, if you want to join, stick to the subject. If not, you stay your behind in the kitty box where you belong. We'll be back.
Sometimes people don't know how much hard work you put in. But when it comes time to battle, you must think about each and every day that you put that hard work in.
Why don't you play anymore?
Brian Banks was 16 years old when he was accused of a crime he did not commit.
All right, I'm back. I'm going to Brother Pastor and Brother Rayology.
What it do?
Good evening, brothers. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, brothers. Welcome to the Underrated Men's Talk. How's you and your families doing?
Me and mine are holding on strong, but holding on.
Okay.
Holding on.
Okay, Brother Rayology, yourself too. How's you and your family doing?
Doing blessed, man. Can't complain. Only getting better. Man, it's just about to go to a family reunion here in a few days. So I mean, that's
Okay.
kind of rare in these times. Yeah.
Wow. Maybe you can talk more about it. Now, I'm gonna ask your brother before we continue. Do you understand what I was talking about? We're gonna start with Brother Radiology and Brother Pastor. Then after that, we're gonna continue.
Well, yeah. First and foremost, kind of similar to what you say. My slogan has always been, "If they don't like it, they can hike it." So, yeah. With all that said, I mean, I think there's just a lot more white knights that are showing up in these spaces. You know, guys supporting toxic femininity, you know, and it just makes them toxic in their masculinity. So I'd say even all these guys that even somewhat had these game channels, you see a lot of that, but just guys in general, like if you come from a place of where you've been silenced as a man, you'll have a guy at his channel talking about, well, that's your problem that you're silent as a man. I mean, you don't know how to deal with women. You know, you're just starting to see that grow more. And then especially if it's based on a certain color of feminine, you know, there's that too that's starting to grow more. And I could go deeper in this rabbit hole, but I won't. But let's just say it's growing more to where a man just can't talk about what he's going through. And especially as we see more guys showing up to these spaces, like just getting online and more guys are starting to speak out, but you're starting to see more repressions from guys themselves that support this toxic female behavior. And they'll be like, yo, no, that's on you. That ain't on her. That's on you.
Yeah. Well, we can go deep after Brother Pastor said. Why not? Go ahead, Brother Pastor. And thank you for coming. Welcome to the very first men's talk. I hope many more to come. Ray out. He had attend to the men's the one in the mornings and afternoons. But we welcome Brother Pastor. And also before I get to you, Brother Pastor, we did a powerful chop up last week. It was powerful. Y'all need to check it out. You go ahead, Brother Pastor.
Zach, thank you, brother. Thank you. We did do a really nice chop up last week. I think one of the biggest problems is going on with this is this toxic behavior, period. It's rather than so we have a lot of shaming and blaming to trying to explain it, and it's not really working right. And shout out to Ty City for coming up with that, because that is really what's going on. And a lot of these guys come into these spaces, right? They're trying to explain about women, but women are not working in the realm of women, they're working in the realm of law. And half of these men want to keep referring it back to this old so I like the fact that a lot of these guys come in talking about they red pilled and but they're still pushing a form of traditionalism, and when the world is and the world is ran completely by law. And that's where they're losing at when they keep trying to say man up, or do this or do that, or you don't know how to handle women, or you don't know how to handle toxic women or nice women, or pick right, you don't vet good. None of that has to do with legality, and none of the things that women are doing is based in legality, even illegality, which makes it more reality. These are just concepts of theory. And in the scientific method, you can stay in theory if you want to, but another one is working in law. And law runs the game over theory. So on the internet, we're all theorizing, talking that trash. I'm the man, I'm this, I'm that, I can do this, I can make this amount of money, I can get this girl, I can control this girl, I can do this or do that. But none of that is written in law. That's all the theory of what they think they can do. So men gonna have to stop being as delusional in theory, and I start understanding more of what's actually happening in the law.
Appreciate that. And also, I've been lacking, as you know, brother. Reality. I usually do. One time I was doing men's talks. I said about a good month, or almost a month and a half straight, of different days. But I've been slacking up because to see things happen, and not enough support. I'm not saying I'm looking for that, but it'd be good. And I found out that they are some men, they don't want to be better. They don't want to be better.
Facts.
They don't want to be better. They don't want to be around these talks. They don't want to. They don't want to do men's things like the NFL draft. We're gonna talk about that later on too. Hope y'all stay on for that. We don't talk about men's stuff. Everything got to be including women. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. Some things, but sometimes we gotta have. We gotta understand. Excuse. Gotta get that out. But that once upon a time, it wasn't no voice. We didn't have no, the men back then, they didn't have no voice. Their voice was alternated backwards in the wrong way. But they push on. Even though they not even respected in the house. Even there's men right now not even respected in the house. They are men that we trying to find our space, but we cannot find our space. And we're going to talk about this in the near future. When I do the men morning breakfast fellowship, and even Underrated men's talk in the future, because there is a gaping hole of these conversations is not happening, and we have to be honest. That I'm talking about heterosexual men, they are shrinking our voices little by little by little. And there are men in this world, it's not acting according of masculinity. And they know they doing it. And the sad thing about it, they are winning. Because they got society side. Well, we society side, and we already know what society think of us as men anyway, especially us as black men. But I've said men, period, too. And I'm willing to put myself out there as I always do. Because at the end of the day, I am a heterosexual man, and my purpose do valued. And any man that comes on here, your purpose value too. And I respect that. And we gotta talk more into that. No matter if you old or young. We gotta be there. Certain things we gotta be on one accord. It cannot be no half-ass accord. No, we gotta be on one accord. No matter what background, whatever you do. But one accord, at the end of the day, we men. We stand on masculinity, and that's the way it is. And I am very firm on that. So, in the clouds, you gonna be with the program or not? I hope, brother 300 Warrior, I hope you're still in the building, because I will put my email out. Now, when I put my email out, that means that any man that wants to join, but respect me, respect the people on the panel, and also respect my channel. I want us men talk today. We always talk men talk, but it gotta come from somewhere, y'all. It's gotta come. It gotta happen. It gotta happen. Because if I hear nonsense, you gonna leave. You ain't right now. Okay. Stay right there.
Oh yeah, 300, 100. Like matter of fact, 300 actually entered this space. With I actually brought 300 in this space. Actually, when I was out in Amarillo, Texas, I met up with 300, and
Okay.
and me and him, we did a whole bunch of like ammo shopping and fish. I got fishing rods and knives and like sharpening tools and like really like manly stuff to keep ourselves protected from the external environments in this society that we live in. So yeah, he 100, and he's a father as well. Yeah, he 100.
Okay, I
Absolutely,
appreciate
man.
that. I appreciate that. And also, when there are some men who's not handy, that's not in the handiest hole like that, you are still a man. You are still valued. Not every man is handy. Okay? Let me put that out there. So us as men, we got to stop that too.
She,
Yeah, what's up, brother? Brother She, check your email. The link is in your email. Check it out. And hold on, brother. I'm going because that's the only way people get on is by my email.
but number one grinder does doesn't every man have to some like this is every person, but especially every man, doesn't he have to somewhat find himself like not necessarily being handy for society, but at least being handy for himself in some form or fashion? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not pushing back against what you say. I'm just asking like for a survival tactic.
yeah, you got to be handy, but not all men gonna be handy in everything. Yeah, I mean like handy, like learn how to cook and budget the money and stuff like that. But there are a lot of men that cannot fix certain things. It
That's
don't
true.
make him less than a man. That's
That's
what I'm
true.
coming from.
Yeah, that's true. You right. You 100 because like you 100% right, man. Because you 100% right.
Well,
100% right.
see, to me, I think that's also what people misconstrue about wolf packs. See, they always talk about hierarchy, but actually, wolf packs are based on just everybody has their role. Everybody good at something, and they bring that together. And if men start thinking like that more, I think things will kind of move a little different. But everybody want to get into this. I'm up here and you're down there, and no one's really seeing like what's the quality that you have, what's really good about what you do, and bringing that out. See, I think there needs to be more of that. That's what the problem is I've seen nowadays. But
Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hold that thought for 1 second, for a few seconds. I want you to jump up. Brother, 300 Warrior. There's my email in the chat right now. I want you to send me an email. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you the link to get on the panel through your email. That's the only way you're going to get on, okay? Go to my email right now, send it to me. Let me know you send it to me, so I'm going to send you the link to the panel to get on it, okay? So send me an email right now so you can get on and join this, all right? Go ahead, brothers.
I was also going to say too, number one, I think that's a gray area, and I hear what you're saying. Like, um, yeah, there is that gap, and I believe there's a reason for the gap. But I think it's more subconscious. Now, what I mean by this is, um, okay, men have a space where men can talk about men things, like you said, not always mentioning women, right? So, we talk about men things. Guess what? Ironically, there will still be women watching and listening. Some of them want to be in the clouds. Even right now, some are watching and listening. So it's like can't really like have them out. They're still around. And the sad thing is,
No,
some of
no,
them will
but
try to use that. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I didn't mean to cut you off. No, I understand what you're saying. There's never gonna be excluded. But what I'm saying is this: when it's time, let's deal with men. Let's deal with ourselves. And I want them to understand too. When you come here, and when I'm talking reality, and even brother pastor, you know how I do it.
Hmm.
There's certain there how I stand when it comes to men and families. Because that's what a lot of people get the misconception that you don't care about the black woman, you don't care about the family. Yeah, I do care about the family. Like Brother Go Professor, in his own way and on my own way, we believe the black man and the family. So of course, if we saying that, that means women included. But there are some that they don't want to think that way. So I do believe in families too. I do believe the man and woman together work on a relationship, have a family, or if you don't desire to have kids, that's all right. But y'all still a family.
Hmm.
Family is going to community. Community comes from nature. And I fully believe in that, and I'm gonna stand very firm in that because we actually have examples back then that it worked for our people. Or I'm just saying, let's take care of us. Let's have fun. Let's have some fun sometime. Let's get serious around us and everything. And not everybody is not all of us is not going to be handy, but it doesn't mean that you're a man. It doesn't mean your value is not important.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying. Y'all can build on that.
And I think that's where you see so many cats trying to like, lead with their wallet, lead with their skill, lead with their game, lead with their mat, rather than just letting things be what they're going to be. And it's hard, man. It's hard letting things be what they're going to be. It really is.
What's going on, fellas?
What's
What
going on,
up,
brother?
She?
What's up, brother Sheed?
She.
Brother Sheed, how you doing, brother? Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. We salute you.
Yeah, man. I just think, the conversation is good because for men that can't, work a screwdriver, and if you got the money to pay for, somebody to do it, that's cool because, your field might be IT. You probably can be the guy that fix a computer. You probably be the guy that, code a network. Everybody has their strong suits. Back in the day, if you wasn't a jack of all trade, you was a master of one, and that master of one set the tone onto how you do things in the community and in the household.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Everybody had talent, so recognize that other man's talents, and build on that and acknowledging it. I think that is very important. We don't want to acknowledge each other's talents. Oh, you got to have a certain talent. You a man. Who told you that stupidness? I'm being nice today. I
Yeah,
don't.
but but it's to the degree, man. You should know a little bit of the basics. That's like with tools. Just knowing a little bit of the basics to get you far, and that's what's lacking right now with this newer generation, because they don't want to learn anything because they know everything.
Uh huh.
And that's kind of funny that I'm saying that, but it's true. They know everything, but don't know, nothing when it comes to a certain degree. Because, they can tell you how to do something on Instagram and get your views and your likes up,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't use a screwdriver to, screw in a knob on a door or something like that. It's
Yeah.
not complex. I mean, you can look at a video on how to do it. I mean, for the likeness, that you have people that look at videos and have books and everything's about recipes. If you follow a recipe to the T, your food should come out somewhat right. But it's to the point where you don't follow it to the T, where you put too much sugar, you're not measuring properly, or you're cooking too long, then the food come out trash. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, 300, brother, 300. I check your email. I just sent it to you. It went through. Check your email. Yeah, I think that's very true. Because, like I'm not a handyman. I let you know right now, I'm not a handyman, but, I can do some certain things now.
But you know what? The thing about it, I think that's a skill that we're all gonna have to pick up because I was looking at this like I was looking at this infomercial, right? And they have the capability now for every average man to be able to have his own like factory of building his stuff or whatever he has. And when they send you this stuff, it comes with like screwdrivers and like crazy stuff. You gotta be able to put it together yourself. It's almost like the IKEA. No, no, I mean that kind of business model is pumping. Where you have, well, it's crazy, but like, but you know what? These guys can do it. If you can learn how to work all these systems on the internet,
Mhm.
you can get it. You can do this stuff. I think that's what Sheed is saying, and I think that's what 300 is saying as well. Like you can actually do these things, man. Like it's just a change in focus, I guess. But you can
Yeah,
actually
but
change, yeah.
That's true, but I'm gonna push
Well,
back a little. I'm push back a little bit before let me introduce. No, let me introduce brother 300. Welcome. First
Hey, how
time.
you doing? What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me. Um, I mean, yeah, I can only speak for myself. Like, I buy a lot of tools and
Mm-hmm.
things that I don't know because of the fucked up situation that we're in right now. I try to look up stuff that I don't know to learn about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna be living on my land, and there's nobody that I'm gonna call and say, "Hey, dude, my car got messed up," or "My light is not working," or "My toilet is not flushing," or so. You have to learn everything for yourself. That's basically what I'm doing. I think
That's good.
it doesn't hurt to learn new skills.
Yeah, but I'm gonna push back on that too. Yeah, I want you to hear me. I'm playing double advocate. Not a pushback, a double advocate too. There's men that cannot see. There's men that are on disability. They cannot work with their hands. They want to get things fixed, but they can't get enough fixed. They can't even walk around. So what
Hmm.
about what I'm saying? I'm saying this my thing is what about them? Do they have value?
Yes, because a lot of those guys, I mean, because honestly, project management skills, you know, with the way that the internet is, and we're looking at it, Stephen Dawkins, dude, like we can have a person that's a paraplegic. I mean, arms not working, legs not working. They land in the bed with a whole colostomy bag, ileostomy bag, all kinds of bags on it. And that person can still. The crazy thing about the internet is that person can still run the internet on a project. So I'm not going to say that that person does not have value. What I'm saying is their value is just redirected. That's all
That
I'm saying.
that's what I'm point. All right, that's a good point. So let me and I'm gonna put this out there for I want all the men that ask this too. So why these men is not valuing this space? What do y'all think? And I'm talking that 300 warrior. Then we gonna hit brother Sheed, then hit brother Reality and brother Pastor. And then we gonna keep it pushing.
I think as having a skill or knowledge doesn't have to be physically. Sometimes you're maybe you are handicapped, but you do have the knowledge to teach others. Doesn't mean that you have no value.
Okay. All right. I like that. All right, brother Sheed, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was chopping up a little bit. But a lot of the value with other people, um, we was talking about this in a private conversation, and it was to the point where somebody else can value you in a different way than what you want them to. But to the extent a lot of men are valued to a certain degree because it's like literally not their cup of tea. I could be talking about the same thing that you talking about, but you hold more weight because of your elder, or is it because it might be because of your delivery? So you can't really, narrow it down to the value of somebody else. That's why they do a lot of surveys to kind of justify reasoning and morals for which people do things. But it's all ultimately it's up to the person, your brand, and what you represent yourself, and that plays a lot into where people deal with you or not. And you know comes from that.
Okay. I'll wait till everybody finish. Go ahead, Ray. Oh, brother Reality.
well, I guess if this is a bombshell, sort of similar to what Sheet is saying, but like I said, I'm gonna add a bombshell to it. But getting right to the point of what he said, really, unfortunately, there's still a lot of brainwashing of society. People still have their preferences, even if something is better but overlooked. People will still have the preference of what's normal or popular or just familiar to them. Unfortunately, but also really a lot of the men that could be the real ones, if you will, that are overlooked in a lot of these spaces is to me, it still kind of goes back to this hierarchical aspect of the way people try to program things to where who they would see as the number one. Notice I said number one, and no pun intended, number one. But
Gotcha, I got you.
but there's always that one person that wants to supersede everybody else as far as the one that you need to listen to, or whatever the case is. And so that's it. Instead of everybody seeing that every man has something different, like in regards to his wisdom, his area. That's why it's important that everybody has their lane. I always believe that you got to stay in your lane. Everybody has their lane, their expertise, and whatever their field is. You know what I'm saying? So that way people can see that, oh, it's not just about his delivery. It's just really that he has a different genre, a different message, kind of similar to what like 300 talked about. Like, what if you specialize in like off grid type stuff, right? And so, yeah, people gonna listen to you for that. But then what if, unfortunately, based on the times that we live in, what if that's all people want to listen to right now? So that's also something to think about.
God, that's a good point. Brother Pastor, then after that, I'm going to introduce you to Brother Alonzo Hall.
I think brothers should literally become what they say. I don't think brothers should really have to. I think brothers should just stay skilled up. When we talk about skills, we don't necessarily talk about mastery. We just talk about skills, and I think sufficient skills in enough areas are going to hold brothers down, especially if they are capable, and when they, and then that also makes room for other brothers that aren't as capable to slide in there as well, because there's unfortunately levels to everything.
Gotcha. All right, thank you. I like that. We're going to welcome Brother Alonzo Hall. What's going on, bro? Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Introduce yourselves, please.
No doubt. Thank you for having me. Number one, Grinda. Appreciate it. Salute to
Anytime.
everybody on the chat and salute to everybody on the panel. So what's going on, bro? Hey, Pastor, you got beef with your son, but we're gonna talk about that later. I want to kind of catch up. So we're talking about skills and things of that nature.
Yeah, we're talking about skills. Also, we're talking about acknowledgement of men. Each man has a value. It doesn't like if you're not a handyman, it doesn't make you doesn't mean that you don't have value. We're talking about stuff like that.
Yeah, and I want to say one thing. I don't have
Right.
I don't have beef with him. He's in the middle of a war, so I don't have beef with him. You get what I'm saying? You get what
I
I'm
got
saying? Yeah, you feel?
I got you, kid. I got you. But you know what I say. That's why I said what I said. But back to the skills and development and the acknowledgement of manhood. In terms of not being able to landscape the lawn or chop wood or build a building. Yeah, maybe you don't have those particular skills, but it's always good to have some sort of knowledge in it. But I think Pastor was saying it best. It's always good to kind of strive for more. Unfortunately, it looks like Sheen had just dropped off. But even when we're talking about things like specializing, I always say, like for insurance, for example, in the field I work in finance, right? I'll say there's 3 levels to it, right? So, and most of the guys here are sports fans. I'll always say, that's why I call myself the all-star advisor, right? I'll say there's 3 guys who came from high school to the pros and played for the LA Lakers: Smush Parker, Lamar Odom, and Kobe Bryant. And you think of each one of them in a different way. And the reason why is because Kobe obsessed over his career, over his specialization. Lamar Odom was a great crackhead, and Smush Parker was just Smush Parker, right? He didn't put in the effort because he figured, well, I got here with the big boys so I could play. So I think it's important to specialize, and I'll stop there.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But I would say this that if that man that put in the work and that man has certain limitations, again, does it mean that we don't acknowledge his value, even though he put in the work, but he has certain limitations? Anybody can ask that if they want, answer that if they want.
I think that's the problem that Kobe had with Smush, man. 'Cause he's still basketball at him and shit.
Yeah.
Um, I think that was a lack of. I mean, no. I hate that. I don't even want to talk. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk bad about the brother because he's not here. Um, Maybe in hindsight that could have been better leadership. Um, but you don't know if that was a learned behavior or not. You don't know if Eddie George treated Kobe like that at Charlotte. You know what I mean? And then that an abuse people. Free feel. And Kobe was a kid when he first went to Charlotte. And Eddie Jones was more of a veteran, and you don't know how he treated him. Before he went to the. You don't know how he treated him before he went to the Lakers. Which kind of fueled that fire.
I gotta clock in here at the gig in a little bit, number one, but I'll add to this what y'all talking about. But I think my thing is with Kobe too. The thing is that he was such an all-star that to be honest, like in the era of Jordan versus the era of Kobe, we could also say that was different too with those type of guys. Kobe, I think he wasn't trying to get people to be another Kobe. He just wanted them to be better. But unfortunately, he had around some less motivated people on his team. I think that's kind of what his problem was. And he knew that. That's the thing. Kobe knew that. So, unfortunately, but at the same time, Kobe always had to fight this idea that, hey, I want people to think that I won just because I had Shaq. But ironically, I think his best years were when he had Shaq. And I think in hindsight, I would think he could look back on that. But Kobe, you know how he is. He's just like, nah, I gotta win one without Shaq. But I think to me that was his only Achilles heel of not wanting to incorporate Shaq more into what he had going on and realizing that Shaq wasn't just trying to be a better player. He wanted to add to what Kobe already had. But with that said, I'm gonna jump off here, number one. But appreciate you having me on and
Thank you.
good chopping up with you, fella.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm gonna reach out to you because I'm gonna do a chop up with you, and also, brother Lonzo, I got you. All right, we're gonna talk about that. All right.
Yeah, we gotta get that chop up going.
Yeah, so I'm gonna reach out to you because I did brother Pastor and brother Pat. Tell him about the chopper, why? Because I gotta take care of something in a few seconds.
Oh, so the chop up is pretty smooth, right? So you have your channel, and you come up, you pull up on the Underrated, and you do the whole chop up. But you do a whole, you can do a whole like pre chop up on your channel to promote your channel and his channel, and then y'all come on the channel, and y'all do y'all conversation. It's pretty smooth and it's pretty easy going. Is this like it's not even really an interview? It's the chop up, like y'all asking each other questions.
That's what's up.
Not for you. I just my schedule is wild the way that my work works. But to answer the question, I think in terms of if a man is putting in the work and he doesn't get there, that's a whole different story, right? Like the example again that I use with Smush Parker. Or even Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom was incredibly talented, but was he really putting in the work? Right? I mean, he was putting in the work on that snort, but was he really putting in the work? Like Kobe. He was out hanging with the Kardashians. So if you're actually putting in the work and your performance just doesn't reach there, I think there's room to accept that because the value is in the fact that you're putting in the work, right? You got to realize, right? Let's look at it like this. While Jordan was playing, it's a bunch of guys who didn't get a championship. We don't really look at them as much less because, hey, listen, somebody got to win and somebody got to lose. And we still look at Karl Malone as one of the all-time greats. We still look at Charles Barkley as one of the all-time greats. Dominique, One of the all-time greats. Hakeem, I mean, to be honest, we think Hakeem probably would have beat Jordan head up if he would have stayed in the league. Because when Jordan left, what, it was 2 years in a row, I think, Atlanta won? So, refresh my memory on that one. But, you know what I mean? So, I think those situations definitely allow for the acceptance. It's just like, again, with specialization, right? So, if I'm out there busting my hump in finances, then it's likely that I'm not a good landscaper, or I'm not a good builder, or what have you, right? So when it comes time to fix something in the house, I'm gonna have to pay another dude to be like, hey, listen, you're a carpenter. I got, these shelves that are turning left in my house. What is it? Here, boom, boom, boom. Go ahead and take care of that. Right. But at the same time, that guy who's a carpenter probably ain't the best accountant. So he's going to have to call up a guy. Hey, listen, I make X amount of dollars from fixing shelves a month. But I got payroll and taxes and this, that, and the third. Can you help me? So there's room for everywhere, right? You can't be perfect at everything. But if you are specializing and you don't meet, and you don't end up being Kobe Bryant, let's say you end up being Tracy McGrady, or um, Vince Carter, somebody who put in the work. We consider him a star, but not really. Never got over the hump. Got to the finals what once or twice. Never really did anything, but had a long career, 20 years. Played until he was 40, right? And he put in that work. He's still respected. So yeah, I think that's acceptable. I'll go ahead and pause there.
I said, brother 300, you can ask something, please. If he's there. Hello?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm here.
Okay.
Well,
No, I said, brother 300, you can ask something if you want.
well, Mike, about me, I'm all about prepping and survival. So my question is for everybody: what are you guys gonna do when the shit hit the fan? Are you guys prepared for that event or not? And I know it is difficult for a lot of people. Not everybody own land. Well, when life is getting harder and harder, you guys have any plan Bs, plan As?
Anybody can answer that. I wait till last.
Stick and move till I get back to the East Coast, close to the ocean. If I'm in Texas, I'm in Texas just for my son. So when it hits the fan, I'm gonna get him and stick and move back to the East Coast where my land is at, and I'm gonna go from there to the ocean.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, when it comes down to it, man, and what's going on, 300? I ain't even holler at you. We can't. I watch the channel a lot. I'll be always over there when I can. But prepping is the key, man. It's not even the point that you know how to start a fire. Learn how to do it. That's what a lot of people. That's why I keep saying this whole YouTube. You can be entertained all day, but you gotta also go for the knowledge. And that's what's lacking with a lot of people. Looking for the knowledge until it's too late. That's like buying a house. The whole thing, the steps into buying a house, it's too late when you're in the process. You need to be looking before the process occurs. And a lot of people fail to realize that and understand that we're going into different processes. I prep. I got a little prep pack. Got some, water, canned goods to the side, rice and beans. I got an inverter. Me and my cousin, we talk about this all the time. Getting a water pump, got water filters, all that stuff. But it don't mean nothing if you don't know how to use it, or you can have everything. I seen the situation when occurred with the C-19. They had all these people who had who bought a whole bunch of guns, and I was at this gun shop with this guy, and he was just laughing. He said, "Man, these people came in here about $7,000 worth of guns, and never shot a gun a day in their life."
I
Just
mean,
said,
yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I mean, I always promote it on my channel. There's no point for buying all these survival gear if you don't know how to use them. And I always say, when you do have your survival gear, go out there on the field and practice like a scenario. Um, have a have a have a second spot if on your land it gets real bad that you cannot stay there, that you have a spot where you meet with your family in an emergency scenario. And just having land is not enough. I mean, you do need to be prepared for any situation, as good
And
as you can.
and that's the reason why I also I push for airsoft, not necessarily airsoft, but I push for pellet and BB gun training, because they make these pellet and BB guns with the same weight as a real gun, also with blowback action. So you actually get to really see how, like, the training, and even the police academy is using these as of different forms, different forms of way to train. So I definitely do that as well. You can do it right there, and you can literally do it right there in close surfaces, because it's a BB, or even though it's high powered, it's still a BB. And then that shit, it roll with it now, but it's still a BB rather than a whole nine, and you able to get the same action and train.
Yeah. Okay. But see again, I know your brother's talking about land and stuff, but there are some who do not own land.
Right.
So what about for them? Because see, I found out, and I want you to understand what I'm saying, that that conversation doesn't happen. It don't. And then when some men talk about it, they just, oh, you need to do that, something like that. So like a brother like me, I live in an apartment, but it doesn't mean that I'm planning for something. But it seems like that conversation don't want to happen, because again, they are brothers think that it's not being valued.
see,
Well, you
that's
got to remember, bro, we living in cities, right? Like you said, you live in an apartment, and you got places like New York, Atlanta, Dallas, places that are becoming more metropolitan, right? So things like having land, etc. Even, not to be disrespectful, but the word survival is really like some what you call it, like some taboo shit, right? Excuse my language, but what I mean when I say that is it's kind of been a fad for about the last few years. Now I'm talking about the extreme level of survival, like, oh, I have a bunker and it's underground and da 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 da. What you're talking about is more practical. Listen, if I have land, I want to live off the land. But I think, and number one, you kind of mentioned this, right? Living in apartments, we got to look at big government, and big government is looking to move us towards super cities, like they're doing in feudal in Japan and China, right, and Korea. In these super cities, where you're going to have vast amounts of land for farming, but those are going to be controlled by the governments, and the wealthy people might have some land to live on, but it ain't going to be nothing for us. And I think what they'll likely do is try to strip it through things like eminent domain. um so I mean, is that kind of what you're talking about, 300?
Um, I mean, like we already know that they trying to buy most of the the houses that we're not supposed to own any homes anymore. I completely understand that, and I believe sooner or later they're gonna come after the land as well. Because that's another valuable property. I say, but the way everything is going, like we are under a drought and food shortage. Famine is coming. So that's the best solution, I think, in my opinion, to go on some land and grow your own food. And I can't see as a person who lives in an apartment to grow food to provide enough food for his entire family. You know what I mean? Maybe as a single person, yes, but not for a whole family. I don't see that happening.
And see, that's the thing too with that 300 people who stand in apartments. There's no excuse. You team up with people that you live around and you work with them. You know, and
Talk that shit, she.
I
a lot of
mean,
people. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
because
I mean,
because
I
Okay.
get.
isn't that what we did, bro? Because isn't that what we actually did? We were like living it, we were living at the joint, right? And then I was like, all right, cool. We started kicking it. We started talking. Then we started making it happen, right?
Yeah. Okay, but this is what I'm saying, brother Sheed. This is what I'm saying again. Yeah, it's well and good. Not making no excuse. Hear what I'm saying. We are dealing with people who do not want to work. Again, let me put this out there. I'm not making no excuses, but I'm telling y'all, I've been in these conversations for a long time. I said, yeah, let's build. Let's do this. We live in an apartment. Let's see if we can get more knowledge to know what's going on. But you know what they said, man, you on your own. It's all about my family. It's all about this. And you are absolutely right, she. But I'm just saying like this. Just how this going on when people have their own land, houses and stuff, it's just almost worse you live in an apartment.
But
Again, let me get out. Again,
Facts.
we should work on each other. But I'm telling you, we dealing with people who do not believe in unity.
I want to say something to that, Grinder. A lot of people don't really understand what unity means because uh, this government has brainwashed the people so much that they believe only in me, me, me. So I've been promoting on my channel as well. Like if you cannot afford buying land, you know, go go speak to your closest friends or family members.
Mm-hmm.
Put your money together, buy some little land and share it. A little land is better than no land. And what I'm trying to do on my land is looking for people who do have skills, because we do need each other. You're not gonna survive on your own. There's no way you can. So I don't care what kind of skill you have. You might have martial arts skill or military skill or whatever, but you're not gonna survive on a long run. There's no way for that. So, but if we get together, like say for instance, you are a plumber and the other dude is an electrician, the other dude is a gardener. This is how people get together to survive together. But you can have all kinds of skills. There's no way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Got you. All right, go ahead, brother She. I'm sorry, brother She. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it with this too. When it come down to that, you know, a lot of people who don't want to work with you, don't work with them. See, this is the thing.
Mm.
This whole unity thing, we're trying to push people that don't want to.
Maybe.
I don't want to have to fight with nobody to try to get them to understand that I'm working for the greater good to help them. That's the first and foremost. And like I was saying, who guys are in apartments, you have people in your building or next doors that you conversate and socialize with. If these are the people that are, gonna try to work with you, then you work with them. If not, then so be it.
But so That's what JC was saying, right? In apartments, there almost isn't even that the most you might discuss with your neighbor, quote unquote, in apartments is in the elevator on the way up to your respective floor. After that, maybe it's outside when you see another one smoking a cigarette and you, hey, can I bum a cigarette? Yeah, here you go. Oh, thank you. But for the most part, especially when living in cities, it's go, go, go. And the only reason I can speak to that is I've lived in different parts of the country. In the Northeast, specifically New York, is a lot faster than everywhere else. But if you live in like the South, like I used to live in Texas, I used to live in Douglasville, these places you can kind of get away with doing that because people are more personable. But if you say hi to somebody in the Northeast, they're going to look at you like you crazy. What you mean, hi, have a good day? But go ahead.
Nah, y'all go ahead, Bill.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's still you gotta hold yourself accountable for what you really want. You start looking for the people in that circle. I mean, honestly, kept. I used to stay in an apartment. There were some guys that I talked to. They were pretty decent people. We would talk every now and then, like you say. Uh, Guys would smoke, and I'd be outside probably drinking and just getting some fresh air, and then we'll just have conversations. Certain guys that I talk to, they move on the same, like path as me. So it was easier for us to conversate. We would hook each other up. He might need a ride to the store. His car broke down. No problem for him. Now the other guy, it was a different story. And I'd be like, hit me up probably tomorrow when I go to the grocery store, then I'll take you. But other than that, I'm not going out my way for the ones that, I can't relate with or work with. So I mean, it's just plain as that. You gotta pick and choose your battles, who you deal with, who you associate yourself with, even when it comes to family, you know.
No, I agree. And speaking of
Yeah.
family, uh, I think that's very important in terms of even building, creating uh, a family when it comes down to specialization and roles. Because, especially with a lot of dudes, we always ask for the same thing, cook and clean. And all that translates to is a labor of love. What we're asking for is a labor of love. But I think we also have to realize that we got to have, roles and things that, sometimes we realize maybe we aren't the best performer at. Like a lot of guys will run around and say things like they're Muslim, but then will say things like, oh, no, I don't let my wife handle the finances. Well, that's haram, brother, because as a Muslim, what a Muslim would do is he would go out, earn his income, bring it back home, give it to the wife. Everything that comes across that threshold is the wife's domain because inside of the home, because she makes the house the home, becomes her domain. So she handles all the affairs of the house, meaning you give her the money. Now, yes, she reports it to you, but she handles all of that, and then you go do what you do. So it's just weird to see double talk, and kind of not following the strict laws that are placed there for a lot of dudes. But go ahead.
Yeah, can y'all hear me? Yeah, my phone about to do it. Yeah, but
Yeah,
the biggest thing is this though, man. Only socialize and work with people that's willing to deal and work with you. I mean, all the others, while you so busy trying to work with somebody to try to devise a team, you could be making this whole skill prep for yourself. Just like what 300 was saying, you find tools that you don't normally use, take on skills, learn this stuff on your own, and go about it. You know, nobody's if nobody's there, you're gonna have to do it yourself. I mean, this whole society right now is all based on an I, me, and nobody else type of thing. So you're gonna have to be that selfish way, like Gold Professor said, that applied selfishness. Because with applied selfishness, it can be turned on and off. When I'm around people that's willing to deal, you know, I'm with you. But when not, I have to turn that selfishness on and work with what I got.
I agree. I've been doing that for the last 2 years. I've been looking for people who are willing to do that, and I see most people don't want to do that, and I'm actually done keep looking for that. So I decided just to learn the stuff myself and um, go move forward. I can't wait till somebody shows up and does agree to it. Because time is ticking, and we all have to make sure we are all in a safe position.
Got you. Now I want to switch it up a little bit here. Here we go. Get in a few minutes. Has
I can
anybody
say this
watched?
real quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a dude up in down here in Georgia. He got a facility up in Dalton where he has I think it's 9 different floors, a bunker, to
Mhm.
where if any disaster happens, everybody goes there. He has doctors, he has engineers, people in agriculture, uh, to the point where they can sustain life and have a community underground if something
Mhm.
ever happens.
And
And
that's what I'm trying to build, but
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
yeah, and see that's developed because these all people stay in the area of Atlanta. And see, it's kind of hard to, like what Pastor was saying. It's cool to have that, but in an emergency situation, dude, unless you got tanks of gas and a nice car that can fly through all the traffic and bull crap that's out there in the ground,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be pretty hard for you to get the from Texas to North Carolina. So your best bet is to have that backup plan, like 300 was saying. That's like with me, my cousin. I'm in Atlanta. I got my cousin, um, and pretty much probably my brother, one of my brothers, and that's about it. That we pretty much talk about this prepping and getting things. Yeah, I say, well, another one of my friends. But other than
I'm
that,
going
that's
with a
it.
dirt bike. And no matter where I live, I'm gonna have me a dirt bike, a
Yeah, I got.
250.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Cause
you can
like,
make it because I got
yeah.
4 wheelers too.
Well, I want to. I put a four wheeler. I put a four wheeler back in North Carolina, and that's cool. But the four wheeler is gonna be when I make it. I'm gonna have to get there off a dirt bike because I don't think that I could take a four wheeler from Texas to North Carolina. I know I could, but the thing about it is, it'd be much easier for me to do it on a dirt bike.
Yeah, dirt bike could be a whole lot easier. You right?
Yeah, it is. That is very true. That is very true. But I want to switch it up a little bit. Has any of y'all watched the NFL draft?
Mm-mm. I
Nay.
ain't. I'm honestly, bro. Let me tell you. Let me like underrated, yo. I hate to tell you this, bro. Like I know you run a sports channel, and you like. I've watched Israel Adesanya sometimes. I catch the replays, but like
Okay.
I've been so much like on some like survival mentality, like not to the point where think about what I can do, like getting green
Okay.
beans and stuff like that. And I just been on some more like I don't know. I've been on a different wave lately though. I like sports. Now you're gonna have to be athletic to survive this shit, but
Okay.
I like athletics.
No.
You don't need to be athletic, but like I said, we talking about the ones that we may not be as athletic as those pros, but we gotta be athletic enough to, you know, you know.
No. If you, no, I understand that. I'm just asking because who knows? Maybe one of y'all want to go check out the teams that the players you like the players that they pick and everything. That's all. I'm trying to make conversation.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna take my son to a couple of games. I'm gonna take my son to a couple of you know, Panthers. I want him to check LaMelo out with the Hornets. I plan on taking my son to a couple games. My son, my dad, like 3 generations wilding out, chilling.
Okay, that's what's up.
Mhm.
Anybody? All right, that's cool. Anybody else?
Nah, I haven't been paying attention to the draft. And I'm a big time football fan. Football is almost like me and my wife's religion. We watch football every Sunday. But when it comes to like the draft, like I even used to watch like Mel Kiper mock draft. But
Yeah, yeah,
it's the draft, man. You know what it is? They haven't had any really good quarterbacks.
yeah.
That
True.
have,
That's true.
like in the past damn near decade that have really been worth a damn. And they've been all highly touted. Look at Baker Mayfield. He ain't even 7 years into his contract and he already off the team for Deshaun Watson, who's what, maybe his 6th year in?
Yeah,
Don't
probably is. Yeah, he with Cleveland now. Yeah.
yeah, man, he's with the Browns.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know Brother Chi team, Falcons, they did okay too. They did all right.
What
They
they
did
got?
all
They
right.
got
I
rid of
say we
that.
got quarterback or something.
Huh?
I say then we get that dude London from
Yeah, yeah,
USC.
yeah, yeah. He good. He
Yeah,
good.
I
Yeah.
was looking at a draft party last night with the cat Gold Pino, Big Rooster. Big
Yeah.
Rooster did a draft party last night. It was cool, man. Talked about the draft, talked about different our teams and everything. That's a pretty good thing to just sit there and just talk as men. That's why I be saying, like, the space needs stuff like that. Like, nobody's not talking about the draft. They talking about female issues and accountability, man. Let's do some man stuff, man. Talk about the draft and what's your
Yeah.
favorite team or who do they get? Even if it ain't your favorite team no more, why?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant to do that last night, but I wasn't. I was into it.
So
That's
y'all
how I
think
want.
Tom
That's what
Brady?
I want to talk about. Huh?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Oh, y'all think Tom Brady gonna retire finally after this year? Only
No,
if he wins the Super Bowl, right?
no, he's not retired, man. He greedy, man. He trying to. How many Super Bowls he won? 7, right?
Yeah,
Trying to go for his 8th, man. I believe that he's only going to retire. I think he wanted to get to 10. Yeah, I think he wanted to win 10 Super Bowls. Then after that, he retired.
yeah. But if that's the case, then he got to be in the next at least 4 Super Bowls to win at least 3.
Yeah, at least, and then at the same time, the free agency, they start looking at it right now. Man, I'm not playing with you. I got to get my own thing. But I'm gonna tell you, the Giants did okay. They got a tackle, and they got a defensive end. They did pretty good. But the Jets, they did their thing. I like that. I like what they did. I like what they did last night.
The Giants are just horrible. I'm so glad that I'm not. But here's the problem: because I lived in New York for so long, and my wife's whole family is Giants fans, I became a de facto fan of Big Blue, even though I'm a Patriots fan. And so, like with this whole Daniel Jones, man, y'all need a new quarterback or some new receivers or a new offensive line, everything. But you said you got some OTs or some DTs.
They got one tackle. They got one defensive end. But I got some good news for you, Alonso Hall. You want to
Okay.
hear it? The Giants said they're not exercising the 5th-year deal for the quarterback.
Oh, okay.
They're not picking it up.
It
So
makes
that means he better play this year. If not, goodbye.
yeah, it
Hey,
makes sense. But here's the thing: to be honest, because you know why they picked him up? He's a copy of Eli, but he's not going to work in that system, right? He's more of a system quarterback. They thought maybe they had Eli or Tom Brady because Eli may have been able to make it work outside of New York, even though he had a lot of sucky years. He won 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots, one against the lossless Patriots, right? So, Daniel Jones was kind of supposed to be that carbon copy of Eli. And if you ask me, he plays with a lot of heart. If you've actually watched the games, what they're not doing is, again, that offensive line. Look at how they're underutilizing Saquon. That boy
Yeah,
brings back to football.
yeah, yeah.
As
Yeah.
a football fan.
Mm-hmm. Now go ahead and finish.
But so I think, if the Giants could fix that up, because, looking at the forecast in the future, I have to look for something to be happy about in the NFL because my team is going to suck for a while, the Patriots. So, I have to pick my NFC team. And here's the funny story. Here's why I personally hate the Giants. Because 2007, I was like, all right, well, I love my Patriots, and they're my AFC team. Who would I decide to be my NFC team? And this was early on in the middle of the season. And then I said, oh, the Giants. And then they ended up in the Super Bowl against my Patriots and beat us. And I've hated the Giants ever since.
The Falcons, we got room for the Patriots fans. Y'all come sit on the bench with us. We got room.
You crazy.
But the crazy part is, y'all ever noticed that, like, this year, like, look where the quarterback didn't go to about the 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you mean last year or this year?
Huh?
Last year.
Last year, yeah. But this year, last night, Pittsburgh, I forgot, I think it was the 18th pick or 19th pick. Pittsburgh did pick up a quarterback. They didn't pick it. He played in Pittsburgh, and they picked him up. So he's the first quarterback in the first round they picked up. And
well, they kind of had to. They lost, the other gentleman, Haskins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but round 2. I think 2 and 3 is tonight. That's gonna be 7:00. Last night came at 8:00. So I said like today and tomorrow. That's when we're gonna really see, the lot of dealers is going to happen.
Hey, who picked up some big time receivers? Because the game needs, since the game is so offense driven. I think, like you said, that if we could get some hard hitting safeties and cornerbacks back, but since we can't get that, I'm sure we got the next Randy Moss coming, which is Jamar Chase from Cincinnati, and they should have won that Super Bowl. They got it robbed by the refs.
Yeah, I think what it is. Get back to the draft, but I think what Cincinnati did wrong, they didn't run the ball enough. They didn't do what they did. That's what I feel. They didn't run the ball enough. If they would have run the ball, they would have easily beat them. But they just want to go pass happy. And I'm saying you could have run the ball a little bit, play action because they couldn't stop Chase. And that's what I say about that. But the Jets, they did well. I just hope, because we do need a running back. I hope that we can get a running back and we can get a linebacker. But I think that this is going to be the telling story tonight. I think it's going to be round 2 and 3. I think it's going to be a lot of dealings. And I think that a lot of people probably ain't going to pay attention tomorrow. That's 4 or 5, I think 4 through 7. But I think that that's also I tell people you got to pay attention to that tomorrow, because now you're gonna see people really filling the spots of the ones that's gonna be on the special teams, or even possible get on and probably come through that free agency and stuff like that. So I think that these rounds is gonna be a lot of good players gonna be coming out. I think it's gonna be some players that they slipped. They could have been in the first round, but I think this year that you're gonna find quite a few good players, especially a offensive line. You still got a more defensive line. And also you got some two-way players too. So I think this year there's gonna be some pretty good players. So I believe I could be wrong, but I think it's gonna be some trade ups tonight. I think people gonna move up trying to get the players stuff. I believe you're gonna see quite a few trades tonight because they still got some good players.
Let me ask you this, right? Let's do preseason predictions before we know the full new rosters, right? What you think about where teams are going to end up as the rosters stand right now? I think Cleveland, because they got Deshaun, But they lost what's the wide receiver name? Guy who played with not Odell Beckham, but the other guy, Jarvis Landry.
Yeah.
They lost him. So, I don't know how good their receiver core is. So I think they'll get to the playoffs, but I think they're another first round exit.
Who you talking about? Which team?
Cleveland, the Browns.
I think I don't know what's their status of they draft picks and stuff, but I will say this that they better. I don't think they need to work on defense all that. I think they got a pretty good defense. You're right. I think they need I think that they need some receivers that could stretch the field.
Hmm.
And there's still some tonight like that too. They still got some pretty good receivers, but it remains to be seen though. That's what I'm saying. That it's going to be players, it's going to be teams that's going to move up to get some
I
players.
think it's going to be like this. So I'm going to start with the AFC North since I started with Cleveland. I think it's going to end up with Cincinnati on top. Number 2 will be Cleveland, and then number 3 is going to be the Ravens. 4th will be Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's probably going to suck this year.
I don't know about the Ravens.
The AFC South, that's kind of up in the air. But I'm going to actually, I don't know. I guess I would give that to Tennessee again, because the Titans are just nasty. And I don't think they're going to get much worse. Did they keep Tannehill or they got rid of Tannehill?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. But, yeah, so that's going to be Tennessee. And then the rest in the AFC South, they pretty much suck. The Colts, I'd say Tennessee. Number 2 will probably be the Colts. Number 3, the Jags. And number 4, would be the Texans. Especially now that they don't have, the prospect of Watson. They don't have J.J. Watt. AFC East, Buffalo's going to be number 1. I think now it's going to flip. I think Miami will take number 2 because they picked up Tyreek Hill. And number 3 will go to New England. The Jets, unfortunately, still going to suck.
No, ain't gonna suck. So I think I put it like this. I think they're gonna do better this year. Now, do I think they're gonna make it in the playoffs? No, but I think they're gonna progress. I really believe that because they still got quite a few picks in the second and the third round. They got quite a few picks, just as the Giants. I don't know what the Giants gonna do.
Is always suspect, which is the problem with the Jets. They always have, they tout this coach because didn't they fire the coach mid-season? And aren't y'all having problems with y'all quarterback already?
They ain't fired nobody lately.
I don't know.
No, they ain't fired no coach lately. Nah, they don't know. This is total different. This total different management. They stick it to the thing, and I think Douglas is they stick it to the plan. It's the like that. So no, they stick to the plan, So, but that's what I'm saying. Like we're gonna see tonight. I think this is gonna be the telling point tonight. Pick. I think that the first round was good, but it went fast last night. Usually they give you like I think 6 or 7 minutes, but it seemed like when they hit like 5 minutes, they already made a pick. So that means that they already know what they was getting. I said within like maybe 36, 48 hours ago. I'm talking about last night.
There
But
hasn't been a lot of good talent coming out of college the last couple of years, though. Well, that's untrue because, like I said, this Jamar Chase kid is incredible. He broke Randy Moss's record.
yeah.
But
I think Cincinnati they just need the offensive lineman. They're bad. They need some offensive linemen. That because of their offensive lineman, they always injured.
Because right now with Joe Burrow, And he's what? This was his second year. He already took them two and basically won the Super Bowl. Like I said, I see what you're saying about the run game, but like I said, they really, really, really got cheated by the refs at 3 minutes and 55 seconds when they called when they started calling pass interference, which wasn't pass interference. That was the first false call, and then they kept giving them pass interference call after pass interference call, which gave them the walk into the touchdown. Apparently, there's a police funeral going on across the street from my apartment.
Oh wow. Get out of here. Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah, so brother Alonzo, we just let me know when's a good time we do the chop up. So what's it we gonna do? I'm gonna close this out. Brother Alonzo, last remark, please. And after that, brother She, y'all stay right there. I'm gonna make my last remark, then we're gonna close it out together as a family.
All right. Well, in terms of the topic, man, like I said, it's ironic you talking about this, JT. Like you said, man, it seems like, I'm gonna try and be quick with it, but it seems like, when brothers do content like this, we miss out. I just the other day, because like I said, I'm gonna continue to do a series called Husbands United. She was there, but I did and actually I think JT you slid through too. I did a live about specializing. And I was talking about because you got like in my field, you got a certified divorce, a certified divorce advisor, right? So they specialize in the financial aspect of divorces, and so it's planning, like you said, and specializing. So planning goes in everything, just like instead of buying 300 guns, learn how to shoot a gun first, so you know which gun you gonna use. So if you are in a situation where it's Armageddon and you got to use the gun, it ain't your first time picking it up and it's on safety, and you end up dying because the guys got you. So make sure the focus is specialized. Work in progress every day and see success. And as always, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute.
Got it. Got it. Brother She, last remarks, please. But she probably go. But before he come and I get on it. But I'm gonna be doing this more. That happen on the afternoon, since I was trying to find out when's a good time the men can come on, and we're gonna talk about finance. We're gonna talk about building. We're gonna talk about too. I'm gonna have some sports stuff be coming up soon. I'm develop a sports platform. It's going to be different, and but we gonna talk more about sports stuff, and then we these men's talks. This the NBA. Wow, playoffs has been good and everything. Brother Hall, have you been? I know you have. You've been checking out the games, man. NBA playoffs, right?
I haven't been watching too many of the games. Hold on really quick.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so again, welcome to my secondary channel, the number one grind of real talk. This is the Underrated Men's Talk. Y'all surely number one grinder. We have Brother Pastor on here, and we have Brother 300 Warrior, and also Brother Radiology. I want to thank your brothers for come by. Very much appreciated. Your insight is right on time. I really appreciate that and everything. So we're gonna close this out. Yes, we are. We're gonna close this out. So but yeah, but today it's gonna be the NFL draft. That's gonna come on 7 o'clock tonight. That's gonna come on ABC, ESPN, and also NFL Network. So the either of them channels, you can check it out and everything. I'm checking it out tonight. Yeah, I am, because I'm very interested in what Jet's doing.
Anybody
Brother,
holler at Mace today?
who?
Mace didn't go live yesterday?
Who?
Mace Tacker.
I don't think he had a live last night.
Yeah, I gotta get Mason. I'm a man. I gotta holler at Mason. Mason need to be going live in his football. The draft, he should have went live, man.
Yeah, but that was because when I talked to him last week, that was the thing about. He said he gonna do a live, and then when the Jets come on, he want me to get on the panel so I could talk about the picks of the Jets. I didn't hear from him, so.
When you talk to him next time again, you shoot him my number.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna holler at him, man.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, man. I'm about to get ready to drop off my.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, make your last remarks, please.
Yeah. Like always, man. Nice to holler at you. The men talk. Us fellas come up here and just socialize. Just like the offline. We get there and talk about things, fool with each other, try to come up with problems. We try to come up with ways to fix them. Find out the solutions to make things better, man. But like I said, I'm about to get ready to get back into this work. So I'll holler at everybody. And appreciate you for letting me come on, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming.
Yep. Shout out to you too, Alonzo.
All right. That is Brother Sheed. Brother Alonzo Hall, I think he's still there. I don't know, he got off and everything. But shout out to D-Ray Promotions. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna give it to maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. Then after that, I'm gonna shut this down. I'm gonna shut this down, and I just want to what's going on here? Let's see.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot. I know you be wanting to close out with everybody. So I'm just gonna
you can leave. No, you can go ahead and leave if you want. If you need to, no problem. Yeah, I'm trying to wait for brother Alonzo. I don't know if he's on the phone or not.
You know what I always say when they ain't at the mic, they're making a sandwich, man.
Oh man, he make a sandwich. Oh yeah, he always make a sound. I need a sandwich too. Oh, you're back? Okay.
Yeah, I'm back, brother.
Okay, all right. I know you hungry and everything. Make your last remarks, please. I'm gonna close it up.
Oh man, like I said, if people challenge you, they don't challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge. Accept the challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, Okay. I want to say on behalf of my channel, my secondary channel, the #1 grinder, Real Talk. This is the last of the underrated men's talk. Thanks for brother Pastor. Thanks for brother Reality. Thanks for brother 300 Warriors. Thanks for brother Alonzo Hall. Thanks for brother Sheed. Thanks for all y'all for contributing this conversation. This is the conversation. We going to get things done. So please support. And brother Alonzo Hall, keep me posted when the time you want to do the chopper. Keep me posted on that. Everybody, yeah, got you. Yeah. So everybody have a blessed afternoon and evening. Again, anybody interested in watching the NFL? The NFL draft, it comes on tonight at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Central Time. And also that's 4 p.m. Pacific Time. All right. So and then also the networks are the channels gonna be coming on. That's gonna come on ABC, the channel ABC, ESPN network, and NFL Network. So those three you could pick. Again, that's on ABC, ESPN, and NFL Network. 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time tonight. NFL Draft rounds 1 and no, I'm sorry, round 2 and 3, and tomorrow I forgot what time it comes on, but it should come on early afternoon. That's gonna be the rounds gonna be 4 through 7. Okay, so y'all go check it out. Y'all got some of the fits, and also there are some big fight. Boxing is gonna be very big this week. So let's just go check. You got Shakur Stevenson going to fight, and then it's going to be a good fights. Good boxing going to come on. So I want y'all go check it out. Go check it out. I don't know. I might squeeze do some boxing before I watch some watch the NFL draft. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back before. I don't know. It depends. But thank y'all so much. Stay blessed. Stay blessed. This one is Ghost. And this one is Ghost, like I said. Be good to each other, y'all.